Over the last decade of coaching and training and speaking, I've found that there's one common question I get asked, and that's what should I be working on in my business? So a few years ago, I sat down and came up with where do I think the main areas you need to be working on your business are? And so I came up with this little diagram, and what it's about is the 4 key things that you need to focus on when you're working in your business. It's a little bit different to what most people would think. It's not all about just numbers and strategy. It breaks it down to a little bit more of an overall view of your business. So the first area you need to work on in your business is the skills of your business. Now, skills is not just your marketing and your sales. It could also be the technical work of the business. And this is where most people focus on. In fact, when most people come to me, they're saying to me, "Oh, Tracey, I need to be better at marketing," or "I need to be better at sales." The thing to remember is that a skill is something that can be learned. It's not about having a talent. You don't have to be born a salesperson. You don't have to be born a marketer. You can learn the skills that you need. And, I have a very specific thing around skills and what we should work on first. Most people would think that let's find all your weaknesses and that's what we should work on first. I actually think you'll get a better result if we work on your strengths first. If you had a kid at school and they were doing great at art, but they were sort of borderline passing maths, what would the majority of the population get that student a tutor for? Well, probably maths. I actually think it's the reverse. They're never going to be a mathematician, but they could become a world-famous artist. What happens if we got them a tutor for art? How much better would they do? Sure, if we need to get them a tutor for maths so that they can pass and get out of school with a good self-esteem and be able to count money, well, that's okay. We still need to work on our weaknesses, but we shouldn't just focus solely on our weaknesses. Sometimes we need to focus on our strengths. And oftentimes in business, people will say to me, "Well, I know I'm really good at the technical work of my business, but I'm not a very good salesperson." Well, that's pretty simple. It's much easier to become a good salesperson than it is to become technically great at the work that you're doing. When you're selling, it's all about helping people. Instead of selling, how could you help them? How can we use your technical abilities, what you're able to do for one of your customers, to actually make it easier to sell? So I hope that makes sense to you, but the skills of your business is just one area of your business. It's not the only thing we need to work on. The second area is mindset. Now, this is not about having, rah-rah motivation. I don't really believe in, revving people up and getting them motivated, because sometimes it's short-lasting. Have you ever been to a seminar or a workshop or heard a speaker at a conference and you got really motivated in the moment, and then when you get back to your business on Monday morning, you feel really flat and in some cases even slightly depressed? This is why motivation doesn't necessarily work. Mindset is all around how you react and respond to things. Are you taking control of your mindset? Are you saying good things about yourself? Do you say, "I can't" very often? "Oh, I can't do that. I can't do this. I'm not very good at that." Or do you say, "Hey, you know what? I can find a way. I can achieve this. I am a great person. I do have a great business." Sometimes mindset is not about external forces. It's about internal forces and what you're doing. But without a great mindset, a mindset that you believe in yourself and that you can achieve and that your business will be a success, it won't be. You must believe it first. So skills, mindset, but then there's a third key area, and that's action. It's great to have all the skills in the world. It's great to have the best mindset. But if you don't do anything, nothing happens. And sometimes this is the area we need to focus on with a business owner. Sometimes they're doing everything perfectly. They've got all the skills. They're doing everything great. They've got the perfect mindset. Sometimes they're just not doing enough. Sometimes it's not about being better. Sometimes it's just about doing more. So action is an area we need to work on. The other thing we need to work on in action is time management. Many business owners are in chaos. They're out of control. Their time's out of control. They're out of control. They're feeling confused and in chaos. And that's one of my specialties, is helping business owners go from chaos to control. Control can sometimes be substituted with calm. It doesn't mean you're doing less. It just means that you're in more control of what you actually need to do. Now, these 3 areas, I kind of think of them a bit like balloons. There's nothing that ties them together. You know, one day you could sign up a new client or have a new customer come to you and you don't have the skills to service them. So you need to find those skills. Some days you wake up and you just don't want to do anything. So your action has floated away. Other days you wake up in a really bad mood and your mindset has floated away. We need something that will hold these three areas together, because the more they overlap, the more success you will have in your business. So I like to think that we need to put a framework or a border or a fence around them, something that will keep them working together. And this border, this frame, I call your why. Why are you in this business? Why are you trying to achieve the things you're trying to achieve? What is the reason for it? This is usually the last thing people think about, but it should be the first, because it's actually the most important thing to work on in your business. Most people spend more time organising a holiday than they do working out what they want for their business and their life. When was the last time you sat down and really worked out why you're doing the things you're doing? What is it that you really want to achieve, and what does that mean to you? You know, if I said to most business owners, and I often do this in a seminar situation, I say, well, what happens if you made $1 million profit in the next year? What would you do with that $1 million profit? Now, the common response is, I'd pay off my mortgage. So is that your why? Is the why to make the $1 million? No. Is the why to pay off your mortgage? Actually, no. They're both action steps. But what does it mean for you? If I said to you, you could pay off your mortgage, what does it mean for you? Usually people say things like, it would give me financial security. I know that I'm providing for my family. We have a roof over our head. It would make me feel calm inside that we have that stability for my family. So no matter what happens to the business, I still have our house. It's like a great asset to have. So that's actually the why. It's that financial stability. It's the calmness. It's the feeling it gives you. So sometimes when people say their why, they're not really thinking deeply enough. Even if you said to me, oh, I want to get a red Ferrari. Well, why? What is the purpose of that? Because in the end, a Ferrari is a car. I'm not a car nut, so if you are a car nut, this may not make sense to you because you're like, Ferrari, great car. But you know, I've had flash cars, and after a while, once it wears off having the novelty of a brand new car, it's still the exact same sort of transport as a good car, bad car. For me, as long as it's reliable, when I know I'm going to get in it and it's going to start and it's safe, that's all I need in a car. But my why could be very different to yours. So you need to work out what your why is. It's not what someone else's why is, it's what it means to you. And the reason it's so important for this, can you imagine that if you did wake up one day in a bit of a bad mood? Well, your why is the thing that's going to get you back onto a positive mood. If you wake up one day and you don't want to do the actions you need to do, and we all have days like that. We all have days like that in our business where we don't want to do the things we need to do. It's your why that's going to get you out there doing what you need to do because it's what you want to achieve. So they're the 4 key areas I see in your business. Now, there's a lot more we can go into with this. You know, we can talk about, well, what happens when your skills outgrow your why? How do you find a new why? What happens if your why is too small? What happens if your why is too big? You know, there's lots of different scenarios how we can do this, but hopefully that's really simplified your business so you can think about it. What are the skills that I have in my business? What are the skills I need to work on? Remembering it's not just the things that might be your weaknesses, it might be your strengths. What's your mindset? Do you need to improve it? What are you saying to yourself? What are you saying about your business? Do you actually believe that you can do the things that you need to do in your business? What are the actions you're taking? Are you in a bit of chaos? Is your time management out the window? You know, are you taking the correct actions, or do you just need to do more? And then finally, your why, which should be really the first thing you work on. Why are you in this business? What is it you want to achieve? What do you want it to provide for you? I certainly hope that's helped and simplified business just a little bit for you so that you can go on and grow a much bigger and better business and get whatever it is that you want for your business, because it's your business and your life.